For thousands of years, the greatest empires in the world made the exact same mistake. They marched onto the Iranian plateau, convinced this would be the final war for this civilization. They believed this was the end, but every time, it was only the beginning. Alexander the Great invaded here. Roman legions marched through. Arab armies brought a new faith. The hordes of Genghis Khan turned cities into ash. They destroyed everything, but not the one thing that mattered. Any other civilization would have disappeared, dissolved like the Assyrians or the Babylonians, but Iran does the impossible. It loses wars, loses capitals, yet it does not disappear. Why? Because something strange happens. Just a few decades pass, and the conquerors begin speaking Persian. They wear Persian clothes, build Persian cities, think like Persians. And that is the greatest paradox in history. Iran does not defeat its enemies on the battlefield. It does something far more dangerous. It rewrites them. How is that even possible? To understand this, we need to go back to the beginning. We are told civilization was born in Egypt and Mesopotamia, but there is one problem. Iran was there from the very start. Cities existed here 6,000 to 7,000 years ago. One of the earliest cultures on Earth was forming here, and this is where a force was born, one that would outlive everything. The Atlam state of Elam. It dictated terms even to the Sumerians. And here, one of the first international treaties in history appears. Not just war, diplomacy. The long game begins here. Later, new tribes arrive. They call themselves Aryans, the noble ones, and their land, Iran. From this moment on, history shifts direction. Their greatest weapon is not the sword, it's an idea. Zoroastrianism is born, a religion where the world is a battlefield between light and darkness, and you must choose a side. But there's more. They are the first to say, time is not a circle. It has a beginning, and it will have an end, a final battle. This idea flows into Judaism, then into Christianity, then into Islam. In fact, they reshape how humanity understands time itself. Then comes Cyrus the Great. He builds the first true superpower, but not through fear, through respect, and that changes the rules of the game. His successor, Darius I, creates a system ahead of its time. Taxes, roads, postal networks, administration. The empire becomes a machine, almost perfect. But even perfect systems break. Cyrus dies, the empire cracks, and it seems this is the end. But once again, it's an illusion. The Greeks think they've won, but Persia changes strategy. If you can't conquer, you can buy. And they turn enemies against each other. Victory without war. Until he arrives, Alexander the Great. He destroys the empire, burns Persepolis, and now it really seems like the end. But time passes, and the impossible happens. Alexander himself begins to live like a Persian. The empire falls, the culture does not. Then come the Parthians, and once again, Iran returns, as if it cannot be erased. The Sassanids turn it into a superpower. Wars with Rome last for centuries, but the cost is too high. The country is exhausted, and that's when a new force appears. Arab armies, Islam, Iran falls. Is this finally the end? No. Time passes, and even the caliphs rely on Persian administrators. The Persian language survives. The culture survives. They've done it again. Then come the Mongols, led by Genghis Khan.
This is no longer conquest. This is annihilation. But even they break. They adopt Islam. They speak Persian. They become part of what they tried to destroy. The same happens with Tamerlane. A ruthless conqueror becomes a patron of Persian culture. The pattern repeats. Every single time, Iran does not defend itself, it absorbs. In the 16th century, Shah Ismail I reunites the country and makes it unique through Shia Islam, separate from everyone else. But then decline. Empires divide the land into spheres of influence. Iran is once again on the edge of disappearance. And once again, a turning point. Reza Shah Pahlavi changes even the country's name. From this moment on, not Persia, Iran. This is not just a word, it's a statement. Then the Iranian Revolution, the country transforms completely and once again stands against the world. Today, a paradox exists. Iran means politics, sanctions, conflict. Persia means myth, beauty, poetry. One land, two identities. But the secret remains the same. They don't win with force, they win with time. Because if an enemy cannot destroy you, sooner or later it becomes you. And maybe this game is still being played.